Alrighty guys, hello, welcome. Anyone out there? Do say g'day, let me know. Who we got out there today? Alrighty guys, as always, good morning, good afternoon, a very good evening. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another London session. Let's have a look at what we've got. First of all, in the news, not much happening today, which is good. So makes it pretty should be pretty smooth sailing for the most part. Looking forward in CNY as well. That's good to see. So as always, we're gonna see what we can come up with moving forward on Gold, GJ, and also have a look at Gbpcad at some point. If you could, guys, please hit the like button. Say g'day. Morning to you, Carl. What we're going to do is start with gold, because it seems like it could be almost ready for a potential option for a sell, believe it or not, on the next M30. So we'll start with gold. I'll do the analysis, and guys, 2 of you on stream, I think, right now. That makes for a really exciting stream. Let's hope we get a few more on board. Background music, yes, sorry, I forgot to be meaning to do it at the start of every stream. I just like to, for the intro, have it up a bit louder. All right, so let's have a look at gold, guys. Looking at the weekly, and it is forming obviously a very strong bullish candle. So what we're to look for amongst this is levels of support on the minor time frames and the 4 hour as well, and see if those levels are to hold, and if we are to respect it in order to look for potential buys to head back up in line with the current weekly candle direction and potentially retest the high and create a higher high, which have already done so again today. Now, having said that, those levels also provide potential levels to look for maybe a sell against the structure, against the trend. We may have a structure flip though soon on a 30-minute, because if we do break those minor levels within the weekly candle, then likely what we're going to do is head back down to the next minor level. So based off the weekly, we are nevertheless strong bullish. Looking at daily has now flipped back bearish, the candle itself. I was just marking the current daily candles low. Did obviously again create an all-time high. You guys know how I feel about that. Gold is just going to continue to rip, in my opinion. Yes, it's going to make pullbacks, but it's not going to, I don't think it's going to be anything that significant. Looking at 4 hour, we've just broken low the previous 4 hour candle, so I suggest we grab that liquidity from the upside. Maybe we could be ready to pull back a little bit further based off that, but structure wise, we know we are bullish. As far as levels, for the time being, we're just going to mark in that, and we will be adjusting it. Resistance, we'll have to mark it in on the 30. We don't yet have confirmation of a resistance on the 4 hour. This candle is still printing, so looking at it now on the M30, we can just delete that, to be honest. It's a little bit far off. Might just draw that one in for the time being. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw this one in, because that lines up with the previous resistance to the left. So I'm going to just mark that in. All right, so looking at gold now, what we can see is obviously throughout the day we create a new all-time high. Not only that, we've coming from this support. At that point, if we start to close below it, we're going to be flipping the structure bearish in the M30. That could be my catalyst to suggest we may make a deeper pullback. Got some support though at 2650, 150. So there would be, at this rate, likely to be enough margin. It just depends, because the potential entry would have to be below this candle if that was to be the case. However, right now we're bouncing off it, so could there be buy options? So obviously we'd be targeting the highs yet again. Let's look at the 15 now. So we know we're technically bullish. Thank you for the sub. So long as we remain above this support on the M30. What we have done on the move to the downside, on the pullback to this support, we have formed some minor resistance here on the 15-minute time frame. So therefore, change that to the aqua color so we can distinguish between 30 and the 15. So therefore, that provides a potential entry point for a buy. If we start to pop above, preferably close above, then we're likely going to make another attempt towards the high. We've got a little bit of minor resistance here to contend with. However, there's enough margin to be managing a trade at that point. You'll have probably around a 17-18 pip margin, depending on the wherever this candle may close, if it did close back above that point. So that to me will be probably at this stage the closest to an entry point for the buys. So I'm just going to mark in at that point there, buys above. Now the sells, like I mentioned, so further buys, well, if it does just trade impulse up, then obviously I'm going to be looking for my little thick pause play type of scenarios. You guys know all about that, those of you here on a regular. So there's going to be options so long as we remain above this support for potential buys. Now if we start to pop below it, that is when I'm going to trust the sells a little bit more, because at least at that point we do have that catalyst of the M30 structure flipping back bearish in line with the 4-hour counter probabilities. The fact that now we've broken below that previous candle, like I mentioned before, this would now suggest that potentially it's just a liquidity grab from the upside. All right, so that is gold, guys. Obviously I'll be looking for buys further down too, irrespective of the 30-minute structure. If it did flip bearish, reason being the overall bias is still definitely bullish, so definitely looking for pullback buys as well. Obviously buys upon the continuation above the high. We're far off that at the moment. And yeah, that is gold. So it's just under 4 minutes. Doesn't look like it's gonna right now find an entry. So let's shift our attention now to GJ, and let's have a quick look at GJ, and then we can say good day to actually I might do GCAD after that. All right, so looking at GJ, once again we approach those highs on the weekly time frame, highest point of the current resistance. So far we're still rejecting it, but we do have a lower high, lower low to that previous candle. So into the daily time frame, and there's why we've tapped into the daily resistance. We are still technically bearish, believe it or not, on the daily from that one big impulse from up at around that 200 level all the way to this lowest point. Anything in between is technically bearish in structure. We again are rejecting resistance. So I mean, based off that, what I'm going to do is mark in, marking the current daily candles low, the previous daily as well. Again, that suggests to me we've grabbed liquidity from the upside, only to end up rejecting quite strong and close weak bullish. So if we've begun to break the previous daily candles low, at that point then is also a high probability that is just a bit of a liquidity grab from that resistance yet again, and we could make a deeper pullback from that level. So bearish in structure, bullish on the weekly, bearish on the daily. Looking at the 4-hour, definitely bullish in structure, marking the most recent resistance. As for support, we're currently tapping into 4-hour support, and we've got a little bit more support not too far below that. But once again, once we adjust these zones accordingly on the M30, we may have a little bit more margin. So we know we're bullish in just consolidating just now. There's no real clear direction on the 4-hour build up of liquidity at this point. So what I can do now on the M30 is just adjust these zones a little bit, remove that horizontal. As far as the downside, do that for the time being. All right, so M30 structure is technically bearish. We did flip it, so we create a higher high at this point here. There's your 2 candle pullback, obviously closed below it. The last 2 or more consecutive candle pullback in the opposite direction to the impulse, which flipped the structure bearish, is at the highs here, the resistance. So anything below basically 193, we are technically going to be bearish in structure in the M30. So the bias is neutral, guys, on GJ. We're marking a 30-minute resistance at this point here. That is pretty much where my entry points are going to be. I'm going to be looking at this rate for either for the sells, guys. Sells below 191.889 to be exact. In line with the structure, at that point there, we'll be breaking the support formed during the Asian session. So if the Asian session lows just crept up to create the high. Now, going to be wary of that because, like I've mentioned, also on gold, I think what we're seeing of the past, most recently, is a lot of time price, and it's doing it again right now. Comes down to sweep the Asian session low, begins to form a support, and ends up back towards the high. It's uncanny how often it happens these days. So keeping an eye on that. We've literally just done it again. So we'll see if we're going to bounce off it. ABJJ might be doing the same. But if we do close below that support, retest it, begin to pull away from it, at that point now I'm likely going to be looking for a sell on GJ. Now, if you remain above the support, it's a little bit tricky because we're printing barcodes pretty much at the moment. Not a bad sort of catalyst there for maybe a cheeky little sell just on that previous 15-minute. But right now, this rate, I'm probably going to avoid this range because the 15-minute barcodes. But we'll see. If it makes a clean move now, maybe consider the buys from the support. I'll put it in there. But this rate, it's probably not going to be valid. Now, further options obviously going to be within the current daily. We've formed a resistance to this point here. That is also the current daily candles high. Seeing we have pulled back and broken the current daily candles low. We were to pull back up and now break the high yet again. As long as we close above it, seeing we are technically bearish on the 30-minute structure, won't be flipping any structure even at that point there. But if we close above it, retest it, begin to pull away from it, then I feel it's a high probability we're heading back up towards that 192.80 and then potentially up towards 193.20, 193 flat. So I'll be looking for the buys above and also sells if we do respect that level. If we do pull back to it only to reject it, at that point I would contemplate my sell option. So that is GJ, guys. Hopefully that makes sense. Gold, not a strong enough closure for me to consider any buy at the moment, but we do remain above that support and we do remain technically bullish in structure on the 30. So we'll see where this 15 closes and then we'll reassess. Meantime, let me take a look at Gbpcad and then I'll say g'day to everyone in chat. If you could, make sure to hit the like button, guys. Do say g'day, do hit the like button. Let me know you guys are out there. And we will now turn our attention to have a look at Gbpcad. So looking at the weekly time frame, still obviously pulling back than that previous weekly. No upper wick on the previous weekly or the current weekly candle. So let's just look at it now on a daily. So still at this rate, technically bullish of the previous weekly candle. Daily though, it's bullish in structure, but printed a pretty strong bearish candle on the previous daily candle. So far, we've respected the low of that candle though. It's just marking the low of it. Let's also mark in the high of the current daily and see what we've got either side of that. Structurally, we are bullish, but we've got counter probabilities at this rate to the downside. 4-hour structure is also bullish. We can see the current daily candles low is at a strong level of support on the 4-hour time frame. Might be options below it, and obviously going to be potential options above it. As far as resistance, marking the high for the time being. And we can turn our attention to the 30-minute time frame. Now, M30, still bullish. But bullish at this point here. Not create a higher high. Not closed above the high to create a higher high. Nor have we closed below the origin of the swing. So therefore it's bullish. So the bias right now is bullish across the board. What I'd be inclined to do is guys. I'd probably just drag this down now because reason being, it's so much cleaner below that point there for a potential sell. If I sold it into that support, it's a 4-hour level, you're selling into further support to the left-hand side. Will not be all that comfortable in doing so. So I'd rather patiently wait for price to start to pop below that 179.90 roughly, or a potential sell below that point there. Now, once again, within the current daily candle, what we've done is we're bouncing off the 4-hour support, we're remaining above it. We've also formed resistance at the current daily candles high. So if we were once again to bounce off this support and begin to pop above the resistance formed at the current daily candles high, then at that point there, we've got some clean traffic to the left, in line with the bias, in line with the structure, bouncing off the high time frame support. At that point there, I would definitely be considering a potential buy to take it back up towards, push further back into the range. So that's what I'll be looking at most immediately anyway on Gbpcad. Not sure if I have the margin to look for sells from resistance again, and is bullish across the board. So that's pretty much it, guys. Attention today, focus will likely be on gold. So we'll see what presents. Got about 10 minutes to wait on this 15-minute candle. Could be early options for gold buys based off 15-minute. GJ not ready just yet. members, I will send you a link just now. Guys, today I have to pick up the little man. He finishes at 3, which is in an hour into the actual London session itself. So now after London Open, so I gotta be off a little bit earlier. So let's see, hopefully we get a nice entry prior to it. Gotta put little man first. All right, who we got? Carl, as always, appreciate you. Panchu as well, good day to you. Lau, good morning. John, good day to you. Ryan again, hope you're well. Brad, good afternoon to you, my friend. Ian, good morning. Steve, good morning to you, my friend. And Vishal, as always, brother. And Ben, hope you're doing well. Yeah, all good, man. All good. Yeah, all good, mate. I'll chat to you later on. Just remove that zone for the time being, so we are far away from it. And put it back in place if price does reject yet again on gold. Hope all is well with you too. And to everyone else in the chat. Appreciate all of you. Been a really good week so far. Chris O, good morning to you, mate. So let's see if we can continue. As always, guys, feel free to ask questions. Feel free to ask me to look at it, pair. I will happily do so. If you do have a chart, even better, but if not, don't stress it. So far rejecting, hence why I don't believe in impulse when you don't have the right confirmation, and that previous candle was not the right confirmation. Look for an impulse entry. How's the week been going, guys? Hope you've all been killing it. Hope we've all been making some nice profits. Absolutely destroyed my legs at the gym today. It's one of the toughest descents of a staircase ever, to be honest. Afterwards, it was an effort. Gold rejecting, alright. Could there be sells? Alright, so let's look at it. If it's based off the 15, you want a really strong closure below, because the entry won't be valid really until below this this bullish candle. But it's based off the M30. It's same in the M30, because technically that's the support on the 30-minute. So let's just keep an eye on it. John, for your current buys above level, do you look for other resistance made before or only the most recent? More specifically, wonder if you care about the minor resistance seen Asian session 2662. This level, yep. I am aware of that, and I did mention that if price did tap into it, I'd definitely be managing a trade at that point. I'd have, depending on where this candle would close, if it was to close above that zone, you've got roughly about, once you account for spread, 17 to 18 pips to target. So I definitely would have secured some sort of partials at that point and would have been at break even. Yeah, but I definitely would consider it as a level to be wary of. You can't just assume it's going to smash through it, because it is data that previously price had created a minor resistance at. So yeah, I would definitely be wary of it. What about just before the big push? You're talking about this level? Pretty much lines up to that level, or are you talking about 2664? Yeah, once again, wary of the levels, but I would have racked up some profit and all that by then, either way. And this level pretty much lines up with that 2662 anyway. Yeah, that one there. Not as concerned, to be honest, because what we've done after that, up through it for move up, and we'll cut back through it for move down. All good, mate, all good. So could there be potential gold sells? One issue is the stop loss. It is an almighty stop loss based off the 15. You'll be looking at plus 50 pips, 50, close to 60, 55 pips roughly. Not fantastic. So what you really need to see is, well, we got a few options. Lower lot size, quite a stop loss, or wait for an upper wick, a decent upper wick of around 15 plus pips, and trust that as strong enough of a pullback that we would not need if we broke the low of this bullish candle, pull back yet again and break our own high. So I'm just keeping an eye on it, guys. I'm not setting any order just yet. We're about to break low by the looks of it. A lot of the bullish candle anyway on IC markets is 265449. So if that happens to be the low, 265430 would be my entry point. But at this stage, it could still come down and break the low of that previous candle. Now there'd be no valid limit order for me at the moment. Not really trending at the moment, and nor is it actually engulfed that bullish candle just now. Once again, I'm not sending any order just yet. I'm just keeping an eye on it. The other concern is structurally it's still bullish until we close, because look at this candle. This candle attempted to break, and it did break, but only to pull all the way back up. The difference though of this current candle is we've broken the high of that previous candle. We're now coming back to break the low. What that suggests to me is maybe we'll grab some more liquidity from back above this support, from back in the range above that 2655 roughly. And if we do now break the low, there's a higher probability, we have just done so, that we will continue to the downside. So it's a bit of a tricky one because it's pushing. I want to continue to push. Definitely gonna have to wait for an upper wick, because otherwise stop loss is just massive. Yeah, I think it's gonna go without us, guys. We'll see. I want a decent upper wick. Based off 30, but 30 still open. Would there be a limit order? We need to engulf by about 8 pips. You guys know my rule for that to be valid. The limit order to be valid. Pretty much where it needs to close. Not liking that pullback though, to be honest. Once again, structure is still technically bullish in M30. It could still pop back up. And as long as it remains within this blue zone or above it, it's still going to be technically bullish. So we'll wait for 20 seconds and see if it closes close to its low, then I'll be interested. If not, I'm just going to put it to bed and wait for the 30. Yeah, so I'm going to be waiting, guys. It's pulling back. All good. Did that give you 10? Not quite. All right, so we'll keep an eye on gold. We'll watch it now in a 30-minute. See if we're going to flip some structure. Guys, if you could, hit the like button for education. Do ask me questions. Ben bouncing a 5-minute zone, is it? Over here? Yeah, tap right into the low of it, didn't it? Close below 2653.3 would be nice. Yeah, you're talking about this level, aren't you? Yeah, that would be. A really good session with the few guys that were on MI yesterday. I really enjoyed it. We had a good chat. Went into depth with a lot of education. Didn't personally trade because the win from GJ, for me, that was more than enough for today. The win from the stream. And all the guys were content as well. They were all the same. They were just happy with what they'd done during the London session. So we just jumped on for more of a chit chat, educational session, watch the charts. Really, really good fun at that point. BK still retracing. Do that, makes it a little bit neater. How's GU looking today? Bit of a pullback. Could have been some nice GU options. Surprised no one mentioned it in the chat. It's flip structure on a 30-minute as well, so you do have the catalyst. EU still holding pretty strong. Are you still bullish on the 30 technically? Pretty much seems to be the same thing each day with these majors in gold at the moment. They create a high during the Asian session, create a new high, create a higher high within the weekly candle. Gold obviously happens to be creating higher highs, all-time highs. And then during our session, it tended to pull back, and then I wake up over the morning, my time, and I found that we created another high, and gold obviously another all-time high. Once again, I'm weary of that Asian low sweep, and now are we going to close above and hold structure on a 30-minute as well? Yeah, good to see. Well, for me anyway, because there was no valid impulse in either direction, but both times when I was looking for an impulse buy, would have got wrecked. Looking for an impulse sell, you're getting wrecked right now. So hence the importance of waiting when you don't have the right confirmation to take these sort of impulse entries, which for me there wasn't. So it's important to just wait that extra little bit longer at times, just so you have the right confirmation to take a trade. And we could be getting it just now. Go back to the 15. So we've pulled back up and we are rejecting. Once again, I want to see this 30 close below. If it does close below, we could have some potential options on the next candle. It's a matter of margin. Below 30 low at the moment, you've got, once you count for spread, you're roughly 20, 19, 20 pips. Stop loss would have to be 15, and you'd be looking at, and that's if it doesn't break low within the current candle. You're looking around at roughly a 30 pip stop. So once again, what I want to see is an upper wick. I could, for the time being, use the 15 as a stop loss. But what I could do is, if I wait for a bit of an upper wick, and it gives me a 10 plus upper wick, what I can do is once it's triggered in, I can automatically start to manage my trade. I can trail the stop loss down to just above the entry candle, and therefore I'm not so stressed about 1-to-1, but that will give me that, at least that 1-to-1 if that's to be the case. So you see my thought process, guys, and I don't mind rolling with that slightly wider stop with not as much margin, so long as I've got a way to manage it once I'm in the trade. Ben would take 20 pips for breaking. That would be fantastic. 20 pips before a school run sounds good to me, especially a school run that is a nightmare. Some of you might remember it from my IG post last year. It's even worse. It just gets worse and worse at school. The biggest Christian school, private school, international school in the city. And it's in a nightmare spot. It's just a really small street, and around a lake is the entrance I go, back of the lake, and that's it. Absolute shit fight to try to get a car park there. Especially in the moment, because it's raining every day, so not as many people ride the motorbike. Got the kid. Joys of fatherhood. All right, back up. See, GJ's a mess. My MetaTrader. Gbpcad still pulling back. About to tap into the support lower down. Be potential buy options from the support. Thank you for this up. Nice clean move. That's good because it opens up now this minor range from the 4-hour support up to the 30-minute resistance. Gold is matter of patience. No confirmation for anything at the moment. Guys, if you just do me a favor while we wait, if you hit the like button, be fantastic. Feel free to ask questions, all good. Is anyone currently in a trade? If so, let me know. Shubhranshu, gold buy now. Not sure where you've got a buy signal. Not for me. Yeah, when EJ sell. All right, let me look at it. All right. It's at a resistance, so that's a good place to be selling it from. My issue is I'm not sure what your confirmation was to actually sell it. Maybe you've got something on a lower time frame. Even a 15 still printing a strong bullish candle. You're probably using a 5-minute. That's fair enough if that's how you if that's strong enough confirmation for you. Structurally, it's also bullish on the 30. I think it's pretty much similar to GJ. Yeah, daily's bearish in structure. The rest of the time frames are pretty much bullish, except the weekly is technically bearish at the moment, but based off the previous it's bullish. So I'd say it's a neutral bias. I would personally wait for closures above that level for a buy, and for a sell I think it's a lot cleaner below here. I think it's just consolidating right now. To me that just resembles consolidation, which means no entries. See if it got entries for me, it would come above there or below here at this rate. But I wish you luck. GJ is quite similar, to be honest, right now. We'll just watch gold for the time being. Just looking at the daily, also UJ sell. I'll look at UJ in a minute. I just want to see if this structure actually confirms as flipping bearish on a 30. Bit of an arm wrestle currently at the level we're at. We do remain above it. I think it's again, I don't just trade off what you don't. We should not trade off what you think. You need to wait for confirmations, but there's a good chance it will pop back up. My confirmation will be maybe a 15-minute closure above that minor resistance. Because we dropped past below the Asian session lows twice, leaving long wicks into that range below, only to reject. We're closing back above. We're still bullish on the M30 now. I think there's a good chance it's going to head up, in all honesty, guys. But I need it to be above that level to trust it more. No upper wick on the 15, doesn't matter, the 30's got one. So I'm just going to wait, see how the next 15-minute candle closes. And I'm preferring at this rate the buys. Sells are going to be a little bit more difficult because you just don't have the margin anymore and you've got that wick to clear first. Ben thinking the same? Yeah, I think we'll have to wait and see still. But so long as it continues to remain above that level, I think there's a good chance at some point it's going to head back up towards the high. So let's look at UJ. So you're going to sell as well on UJ, and you mentioned you're looking at the daily. Yeah, still not really sure what the confirmation is. I mean, the way that daily close suggests it's grab liquidity from the upside, and in this situation, a lot of time what happens is the new candle pop straight down before making up a wick. Looks like that's what it's doing now. A lot of time where it would pull back and reject is around the open. 4 hours bullish, structure on the daily is bearish. Previous weekly was bullish, high low on the current. M30 structure appears to be bearish. It's at resistance. I mean, you're at a, again, not a bad level to be selling from, but for me, there's no confirmation just yet. But once again, wish you luck. Let's keep watching gold. Keeps pulling back. It's a bit of a tricky one at the moment. Should rename the channel to the patient trader. Problem with most traders, they lack it. So 15-minute resistance is now here, by the way. That's the highest point, just a tad higher up. Not really much of a difference. Ben, what's my thoughts on candle closures with no wick? Yeah, it's a tough one because often we see there's no what will happen in the next candle will reject pretty heavily. It's kind of, to me, it kind of indicates that perhaps there's no margin for the next candle to move with it. But I mean, other times what you will see is the new candle will open up, and what it will do is it will pop up to begin, and that's kind of like the residual volume from that candle. That the split second it popped up at the end of that. Some brokers might have an upper wick in that case, but others won't, and so that is like that leftover volume pops back up and then it pulls back to create lower wick. And then what I find is if it flips again and breaks its own high, those sort of candles with no upper wick, those sort of scenarios, when that happens, is more probable for it to actually continue in line with the previous candle. What we've got just now is, I find a lot of time it's followed by a candle closing the opposite direction, sometimes a very strong candle. So maybe in this case that is what's going to happen potentially. And as you guys know, I always prefer to have wicks in both directions as well, to be honest. This makes me feel more comfortable in a trade, because how often do we see it eventually come back down to create that wick, or go back up, pop up to create the wick. Don't forget the upper wick on current M5 after closure with no wick. Could you make an argument for a quick snip sell? Yeah, I think that's a little bit too impulsive for me. You still got this support as well in the 5 minute. To be honest, I think it's trying to force it personally, and especially seeing the structure's bullish and we keep respecting this zone. So this is my opinion. Then you prefer time frame for that, or just generally? Are you talking about the no upper wick situation, or no wick? Just generally, probably the 30 more so. 15, I'm not as concerned. Yes, it's preferable, but I'm not as concerned, because as long as the 30 has the wicks. But I mean, we're seeing in this case at the moment what it's done, and that previous M15 had no upper wick. Sometimes I want to see a little bit more data print too, like wait for the closure. If this was clean above and this closed a weak bearish candle above the bodies of these candles to the left, times that would be a catalyst, so long as the traffic immediately to the upside is clean. But it's not. Obviously you're entering into these wicks, so it could reject. It's just in consolidation. Then yeah, now you could make the same argument on the M5 closure now. Yeah, pretty, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, no lower weekends popped up. Yeah, it's approaching the low, but for me, I'm still weary of this level. It keeps bouncing off. Good questions though, my friend. Glad someone is asking. Keeping the chat pumping. And look at it now. Just keeps bouncing. All good, buddy. So we've got just over 20 minutes until London Open. Exactly what it's in the end on the 5, isn't it? You're gonna find more so in a 5-minute. The candles don't have wicks in both directions than the other time frames, obviously. Once again, on the minute, go to even lower. Look at this again, we just keep bouncing off it. Yeah, not a lie, but it's just too much noise, way too messy. Far too much, yeah. Not enough margin even on the 5 for a buy, cheeky little buy. Just trying to see how we can maybe get in a little bit early off the back of price remaining above this support. But I still think the best, at this rate, the best area to get involved is above that 2660 sort of level, 26,599. Joe still below resistance. Need to wait. $26.62, $26.54. It's just a wick rejection right now. Yeah, it is. Just a, that's it. Look at the hourly as well. The very tricky level at the moment. Rick, how are you, mate? Long time. Haven't seen you in the chat. Hope you're well. Ben did similar yesterday and didn't move nicely until 10:30, 11 UK time. Yeah. Popped about. GJ was the move yesterday. Yeah, long time no see. Yeah, I've been absolutely killing it on stream. But hope all is well. Hope to see you more often in the chat again. John, any tips on knowing when to actually enter a trade? I'll often have the analysis correct with the closure above, below. Unsure if it's close too far, not enough, above, below. Well, for me, it's all about the catalyst. So, first of all, it depends on... Well, price has to be the area, the predetermined area where I want to get involved in a trade. And if that's to be the case, and it is, then I'm to look for my catalyst. And as far as if it closes too far above or below, I mean, there's options, there's still options. Just depends. For me, if that's the case, then I've got to reassess and perhaps look for a bit of a minor pause, but it might be on the 15-minute. For instance, if price is trending like so, and then you have a little bit of a pause candle like so, that could provide my potential entry to get involved with the trend. A weak candle closure like that bearish candle, we break it, clean traffic to the left, there's a high probability it'll continue to the upside. But otherwise, what you're doing sounds to be correct. You're waiting for instance, closure above, probably waiting for a lower wick to maybe retest that level. And once you got that confirmation, that should be enough of a catalyst to suggest to you that the entry is valid. Same to the downside. So to me, it's all about making sure I've got my levels correct and prices at those levels and not jumping in between, or if it is in between, looking for my catalyst, like I mentioned, those pause candles and things like that. But to be honest, you've just got to take the trade. If it's in line with your analysis and your plan for today. And another thing, if it's leaving a zone and it's closed a little bit too far above, I still know what I do is I go down to the 5-minute and I see, have we actually retested the zone though within the catalyst candle? So if the 30-minute is the candle that closes above, it's for education again, probably giving away too much. And within it, we've got obviously six 5-minute candles. If one of those candles happens to have, so we've got the closure above on maybe this could be the second, third, fourth, whatever. One of those candles happens to do this, close back bearish, tapping into that zone, and we still close as so on the M30. Then that would be valid for me to just look for just a smaller wick on the new candle. Doesn't have to necessarily pull the way back to that level and then entry. Because within this catalyst candle, what we have done is, in this candle, we have pulled back on the 5 minutes, retest, close back bearish, pray that minor pause, only for it to eventually close back above the resistance for lower wick, tick, entries, breaks, tick. So once again, for education, good, please hit like button. 15 closed, back a weak bearish candle. So again, no upper wick, that's what happens. Just a mess on a 5-minute is just a messy area. But we still remain bullish in structure. But is it going to flip on the M30? Closures below, where I've got sales below, is going to flip the structure bearish on a 30-minute. Rick, you've been trading NASDAQ lately, New York sessions? Fair enough. I analyze it for in my session, but I don't personally trade it. Then, that's correct. Analyze, confirm, trade. What it's all about, that's exactly what we do. And we know if we stick to that simple process, been proven there's about 80% probability of being on the end of a winning trade. It takes time, obviously. Not everyone, you know, the members and that's gonna somewhere more advanced. Everyone's at different levels. But with all the knowledge, all the videos and all that, give them every chance to become decent traders. Plus the fact that they can contact me 24/7. I've been looking at EJ potential buys. 15-minute closed above the. Oh, let me look. Oh, it's a strong closure. Now, have we got a 5-minute? Yeah, it's a little bit lean to the left. Only issue is 30s come from below the resistance. That's my only concern. And has it got the legs? I'd go a small entry if I was to take it, to be honest. Otherwise, I'd rather wait and see if this candle creates a pause, but you may miss the move. I see it, but for me, I don't know if it's a strong enough catalyst. Based off just the 15-minute. 5 minutes looking good. Can't tell, I don't have EJ, man. I think it's totally for this valid. I'd say off the 5-minute as well, yeah. I'd just go a small entry if I was to take it. Because you haven't retested this zone yet, and you don't yet have confirmation of the 30. For me, I probably wouldn't bother with it on EJ. But it makes sense. But it's just, yeah, it's not really my type of trade. John, thank you. Appreciate the detailed answer. Pleasure. What I do here in the daily, yeah. So I wish I got more love. But it's all good. Eventually we'll get there. NASDAQ shit outside New York hours. Yeah, for the most part. Sometimes it makes moves. So I mean, it's been quite good so far. There have been potential entries, probably at some point. Maybe based off that. But I know what you mean. I doubt it too, to be honest, this time of day. Once again, keep an eye on gold. Chipanchu sells below 26.55. No impulse, not for me. There's still no confirmation. Look what it's done twice already, sorry. Or on the 15. Just keeps bouncing off and back above. So for me, you just need to be more patient with it. Rift, but New York AM session with red fall news is good. Yeah, it's volatile, that's for sure. Wait for one side sweep and counter on the fair value verse on. Fair enough. Yeah, again, it's not how I trade, but all good. Marvy is hoping for deep pullback to the resistance support. Yeah, I know what you mean. It just gives you more confidence because it's retested it. Yeah, there's a few things with that one. I mean, if it was the 30, I'd say yes, 100%. Strong enough catalyst, even though you haven't retested and you got a ton of volume, it's a good chance it would make the move. But 15, it looks like it might make it, but I'm just looking at that, thinking, has it got legs? It is EJ, not GJ. It can definitely move the volume. Not sure, to be honest. Rick, I trade the 1 and 5 minute. Wow. Not for the faint of heart. On gold. Fair enough. Again, as long as you can make it work. Good luck to you, brother. By all means. I'm, you know, no one to judge. As long as you guys can make whatever, you know, you can make work, fantastic. And if you support the stream, really appreciate it. So guys, be back in 1 second. Don't go nowhere. Alright. Over 5.5 minutes remaining. Looks like we may be flipping structure. So what options will there be to sell it? Alright, looking at the 15. So we're obviously consolidating, but the good thing I'm seeing is we're closing potentially near the low of that consolidation. Maybe a bit of a tick as a catalyst to suggest, along with the 30-minute structure flipping, that we may pull back to the next level, finally at 26.51 roughly. So for the time being, it could be sell options. Again, the issue might be stop loss. So if this candle pushes too far into the zone, it's just not going to be an option because you're not going to have the margin into the range below, sorry. If it halts and closes pretty much where it's at, a little bit lower down, be fantastic. First, well, where I'll initially place stop loss is above 15. Then what I'll be waiting for is London Open to create decent upper wick. And that's a way of managing it if it did trigger in afterwards. If it did eventually pop back down to break the low, trigger it into the trade, I can manage the trade quite easily based off the entry counter's upper wick. I need, first things first, need a strong closure on the 15. Because right now, we're just trading within these wicks. We're just bouncing up and down. Don't have a strong enough confirmation just yet. GJ coming from way too far down. This candle needs to close, I would say minimum around that 192.50 for an impulse for entry to be valid. We keep a bit of an eye on GJ. It's not looking too bad. We've popped down towards the Asian session lows and we are respecting it. So I'm just going to keep a little bit of an eye on GJ as well. The high on IC markets of this particular range. $192.530. All right, so we'll see where the candles close first. Chris, yeah, for 71% win rate, 85 trades, but I haven't really made a reasonable amount of money. I tend to close trades early. Any tips? Have set targets. Have some rules with what you target with TP. So for me, I trade with fixed lots, so I always tend to target depending, usually minimum around 10. Sometimes I go for longer. I hold the position a little bit longer before I secure anything. Secure a set amount, whether it be 75%, 50%, 80%, and then have a realistic target for a runner. But the issue is, if you're not in that great a profit and you're at 71% win rate, well, it's obviously your edge works, but it's your trade management. So what you might have to do is be a little bit more strict when it comes to managing drawdown. You see how I do it on stream. I'm pretty strict with it. I'm always looking to manage drawdown. I'm always looking to manage the trade as soon as I get involved in a trade. Not just if it's in drawdown, even if it's in profit, I'm thinking about how can I adjust the stop loss to get me, to minimize the risk I have on the table. So maybe that's something you need to look into a little bit more, to be honest, than your TPs. But yeah, that's what I would recommend personally. And it also depends, because if you are securing at TP1, and how much are you securing, and maybe you're leaving a little bit too much on the table, not securing enough for that first TP. Marvy, good one, got TP1, nice one. All right, happy to see, good work. Yeah, it's worth a small entry, but ooh, GJ throwing a spanner into works. The issue is stop loss as well, so let's look at it. 15, 20 plus pips. What's the new high? $535, so $550. Did a similar thing yesterday, guys, and we got the buys. To be honest, I think GJ is looking a little bit better than gold right now. Joe, g'day to you. Looking interesting, yeah. Needs a lot of wick though, because the stop loss have to be based off the 15, and then you have to manage it off the lower wick of the entry candle. So why stop loss even off the 15? All right, we're about to close, so I'm focused on GJ, guys. Gold is not a bad option as well, but GJ looks much better. Lower wick. We'd love for it to tap into the low of this zone and bounce off that. Needs a lower wick, needs to pull back and pull back quickly. Don't want to pump too far. All right, let's quickly look at gold. I'm not taking about a low wick. Gold, similar. It hasn't really created much of a low upper wick, sorry. I'd be wary of these guys. I'd really be a little bit more patient with it. And GJ looks like it's going to go without the wick. You do. What can you do? All right, let's watch gold. Flip bearish on a 30. Is there a limit order option? No. I'm gonna self-stop gold the low. Blow off the current candle. 9.5, so 7.5. Trade. Stop loss, I'm just adjusting it. So I'm looking at gold sell. At 7.5. That's what I'm currently looking at. I actually got my stop loss a little bit higher up, to be honest. Quite wide. I'm gonna adjust it. So that's what I'm currently looking at. Not in a trade. I'll trigger it in. Not a bad catalyst. The 5 minute as well. Weak bullish candle. I want to get in as price breaks its own low. All right, I'm in. I'm just going to adjust stop loss to a bit above the entry candle, ready starting to mitigate risk. That's what I do. That's how I roll. Always look to cut losses short, so I don't want to, just in case it does pull back further, it's just what works for me. Seeing this one out, really wanted to take the 26.53 to be completely happy. That's all good. I drop a bit more. Alrighty guys, got about 7 pips on the tables, I'm gonna go to break even. Yeah, I'm going to break even now. There's 8.5. There we go. Close partial at 18. Job done. That's how we roll. Let's go, guys. Secure some profits. Yeah, that deserves a like. Once again, we don't get enough love on this stream, but we kill it. We absolutely kill it. So, copying them as I do for every trade, so the members know why I took it and how I managed it. Please tell me some of you took it. And it's literally tapped in pretty much into that support. So by the time I had a chance to close anything, it was 18 pips. I closed custom, so I closed 80%, 18 pips. That's a cracking trade, guys. Job done. Well done. Anyone take it? Please let me know. Joe, yeah, same with me, 18, because it just melted. It was like that build up. It's about to take me out break even, but all good. I secured 80%. So I'm very happy with that. That build up of just this liquidity, that's what it is. This consolidation, these wicks. Eventually it's going to break. You just need to patiently wait for a bit of a catalyst. Not the, I mean, to me it's not the best catalyst, but it's closed below these bodies. Not only that, it's flipped the 30-minute structured bearish at the same time. That was the tick to trust it. And also, you guys often hear me, look at this, still in profit, still in. You'll often hear me say when price does this, and which is exactly what I did, pop down first. I want to just take photos. When price does this, it pops down first. We don't stress it, so obviously it should be bearish. We don't stress it, we don't get FOMO, because we know there's a good chance that it's going to eventually pop back up to create its upward wick. So if it pops down and we wait patiently for it to pull back up, creates upward wick, we know at that point seems to already create a lower wick. If it was to continue bullish, there really isn't much of a need for it to pull back up, pull back down yet again and break its own low. And if it does, then what this suggests to me is, even if you're looking at the 15, we're tapping into some previous data here to the left. If we are to reject and break our own low again, what that suggests to me is we're likely just grab more liquidity and to make the move. And look what happened, it just died. Alrighty guys. Let's do one for the gram. So let me know. Another day, another W. Gold sells at London Open. Cracking win, 18 pips.
That's a great one.
Beautiful trade. Good work, guys. Well done. Cheers, mate.
That was a nice trade there.
Appreciate it. All right, so who got it? Let's see, show of hands. Still got a runner going, still in. Joe, nice one. Marvy, hope you took it as well. If you did, you're having a cracking day. Lau, W, nice one. Always good to see. Thank you, Marvy. Joe, yep, same. Mr. Phil, you don't trade it, all good. Vishal, beautiful trade, got 10, nice one. Would have slipped a lot of TPs if guys had 10 pip as TP. That just dropped, completely died. Your TP was slipped from 10 to, yeah, that's what I mean. Unreal when that happens. It's happened to me a few times. I was just lucky I got magic keys, so my runner's just been taken out, guys. So I just literally closed custom on the terminal. Rick, good one. Steve, nice one. Is in the same boat as Ben. Just to hear what you said about it. That's fair enough. That's totally fair enough. But for me, again, the fact that the 30s flip, bearish, 15, and more so the way this candle opened is my cue. That is my giveaway. I think it's something you often hear Franco and I talk about when candles create the wick in the direction that we want to trade it in with first, and then pull back to create the wick in the opposite direction. That to me is, I love when it happens. I just lick my chops. I absolutely love it. Vishal W, nice one, mate. Marvi, TP2 also on EJ, and you're having a cracking day. Happy to see it. Steve makes really good sense about liquidity. Yeah, I think so, especially this time of day. Chris O, W, Marvin W, Dot, morning, nice W for gold. Scanning a buy at the moment. Fair enough. Temperance W. Kyle, still got a runner. Oh, really? So you got him probably a little bit higher up. Marvi, all good, mate. All your work. Joe, looking at GJ or Gbpcad sells depending on 8:30 close. Yeah, see what you mean. Still got a way to go though. What would be nice is pretty much if this candle closed as is, but within it. Once again, for education, so within it, and I'm pretty sure you'll know what I'm about to say. Weak bullish on the second 15. And then it ends as it breaks that minus support form below the resistance. There's your entry. With what a week it's been. Every trade's been a cracking trade, and I've caught some nice moves. Some substantial wins as well. EJ is probably similar to GJ, I'm assuming. Yeah, I like GJ better though, because EJ is... Yeah, it's tapped into that though, I suppose. But EJ has got perhaps that to contend with. The tap into the previous resistance. GJ seems to have more margin, potentially. If it doesn't just melt now. Gbpcad as well. Sorry, it wasn't EJ, was it? It was Gbpcad. Gbpcad, yeah, Gbpcad looks okay. Has it had any exhaustion on the pullback? Not just yet. One good thing I like though is this liquidity wick. So similar to what I mentioned on GJ, if this 15 closed below followed by a weak pause, still closing the M30 back below that support, and I think it'll be a really good signal to validate an entry based off that. Brad, nice one. Beats Voyager, all good, mate. All good. Cracking week. The last few weeks have been unreal. After what was a shitty start to September. A lot of it is because I was training out a session. Training a session I don't usually trade that much. Well, I do trade the members, but I think all 3 losses come during... Well, actually, no. It was a loss last week, wasn't it? But most losses have come through MY, but since that first part of the month, it's been cracking month. The month's going to be a really good one in as well. Dot, after that sell in gold. Oh, for the buy, you mean? It's bouncing just now. So notches up win number 53. It's funny how you take a trade, take a win, or take a loss, just take a trade and everyone jumps to shit. All good. You guys know where it's at. Liquidity sweep? Yeah, fair enough. How can we get more viewers? Honestly, people need to see this. Franco, good morning, brothers. Just actually mentioned you. A little bit late today, all good. Hope everything's well. You missed out on some fun on gold. Take your shirt off and wear a mask? Yeah, probably. That'll probably do it. God knows, honestly. I remember I've seen a streamer or two shirtless at times. Ages ago. I mean, what a wanker, honestly. What a bloody top on, mate. Even a singlet while I'm wearing, just put something on. Crack open, baby. I love the session open. It's time, guys. Session open time. Open her up. Over the shoulders, the chest. Yeah, I don't know if I'll that sits too well with me, to be honest. Oh yeah, Franco, all good, mate. Hope all went well. DJ's still rejecting. Alright, so let's see if it does form that weak support. Redroy? Just send me your bank details and your phone number. Come on, mate. Seriously. I give away quality trades on the stream. I think that's plenty. Franco today, yeah, right? Fair enough. RGU's melting. It's a bit of a pullback. The majors in gold pulling back. AU, it's holding pretty well. So is it EU still? Maybe it's to do with the pound. There's no schedule news today. A little bit, but that's yeah. Not sure what sort of impact that will have. Is there anything breaking? Man goes on epic beer tax protest journey across the UK. Good on him. Good on him. He should run for parliament. Not that I'm from the UK, but he sounds like a top bloke. Because the price of beer in Australia these days is ridiculous. It's getting more expensive here too. Gold now making the move, so that's all right. This is good for those who are maybe looking for the buys from lower down. Clean move in the end is what you want to see, because then it's more probable to make a clean move back up. But for me, I definitely need to see some sort of catalyst. What's cracking, guys? Is everyone in a trade? Yeah, so GJ's the next one, looks good. But once again, it's the same as yesterday. There's no need. If you've already had a win, Harvey, mate, you're killing it. So you probably don't need a trade. Some of the rest of you in the chat have probably had more than one win already, or you had a good enough win on that first trade that you don't need to trade again. I've certainly had a nice win on that first trade, so you really much need to give it to risk giving it back. Less is more in this game. Like I mentioned it so many times, I could trade 20 times a month, win 15 of those. So on average I win 80, around 81, 82%. So a little bit more than 15. I've done a few things. I've exposed my account to less risk. So it's less stress on myself and on the account. I've stuck to quality trades that tick the box and high probability trades. And I can still make a greater return than those who are trading 40, 50, 60 times a month. Up to you guys. That's what I preach. You ask some of the guys I coach, Franco would vouch for that. Archer would vouch for it if he was here. I know he'd be working. Some of the members would understand it, how things have changed for them. Very simple to follow. Rick, no, I'm not in nothing. Gold, that was it. That gold trade was me. You're too puff, Danny. Oh god. I've been here, I heard about that for ages ago. I think it was my brother told me about the conspiracy. What a dirty guy. He just looked, as soon as I heard that guy for the first time, I think he looks shifty. He looks really shifty, this clown. Never trust a guy who always wears sunglasses indoors, outdoors, and only comes on a bloody, as a special, I don't know what we call it, a special guest, but when it comes to what's called hip hop and rap songs, and all he does is yeah, that's his little cue of every track, and takes the cake, takes the dollars from it. He looked so shifty, that guy. Rick was looking at NAS. I saw an entry, but that shit boomed right up before candle closed. 1 minute. I hate that shit. Yeah, it is what it is, mate. Once again, all you do is plan. If it goes without you, it goes without you. It's no FOMO. Ticks the box. It ticks the box. If it doesn't, just no entry. Clickbait, yeah, for sure. Franco, yeah, see, there you go. How much does it change your trading as well? Having clear set of rules and plans to follow. Ben, or seriousness, before just knows to take so many losses and jump into stupid shitty trades without a confirmation. Yeah, there we go. Rick Jail Daddy. Yeah, he's up shit in a big way. Yeah, so for me, that's what I'm really good at, is ironing out those who are a little bit impulsive, by giving them some clear-cut rules to follow and a clear plan. And it's a pretty simple process. Once you get down packed, first of all, levels and how to utilize your catalysts and what one to look for, So for instance, in this case, an engulfing candle is not what we want to look for. Yes, it's a strong candle, but you'd be at support. Massive stop loss, no margin. So that's not what we really want to see. There's another catalyst we can see, and it may be presenting. My members know. So there you go. It's just a matter of pointing and picking out these, spotting these catalysts. But I think that's about a wrap, guys, because I have to go pick up the little one shortly. So I think I'm gonna call it after. Been a fantastic day again. Been a really good day. Once again, just stuck to the rules, followed the plan, waiting for the confirmation of the 30-minute flipping bearish in gold. We got that. So now I'll be waiting really for the buy. It buys, in my opinion, still won't come until this point, to be honest. Good. And that point there, you're going to flip the structure bullish in the M30. So I'd want it to close above there to flip the structure now back bullish, because you're not going to have, it's just no clean area to really trade it from the current level. I mean, if it closed the 15 bullish engulfing, maybe a cheeky option. I'd rather wait for it to pop above that 2660, to be honest. And further sells below this support 2650. DJ, you really need for a 15-minute rejection, weak candle closure, and maybe. But yeah, otherwise buys above, closure above, and then you're probably entering above the current daily counters high. That's it for GJ. So that's about a wrap, guys. I gotta get moving early, unfortunately. Someone be my friend, have good ideas, binary. All good, mate, not me. So you might have to find someone else. So all good to you. Well done today, guys. If you have not done so, please hit the like button. I'll be on tomorrow, same time. If you'd like to know more about VIP and all that, there is a code you can use. I've pinned it at the top of this chat. It is well worth it, trust me. I'll be live with the members for NY session. Looking forward to that. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care, trade safe, have a good one. Until then, cheers guys, all the best, bye. See you members, see you later.